This must be the place. Mia finally deciphered that note we received. It says, "Help! Please come to the comic book store. Hurry, Caroline and Mia." So, here we are at Mangatropolis, where they sell all kinds of comics, from manga to Marvel. The owner's pretty confused. She's been communicating mostly in images since the key was destroyed, but Mia managed to talk with her. She was just getting ready to create her very own comic book, introducing the Mediator, Media Metropolis's homegrown hero who uses the power of communication to save the day. But, ironically, the key to the city was destroyed and now she can't remember how to make comics at all. We can help. This is the last component we need for our new key. We'll explore the tools used for storytelling in comics and analyze how artistic choices affect comic readers. That'll get us ready to create our own comic masterpieces. Let's go! Comics, graphic novels, manga, webcomics, webtoons, and more. Those are just some of the words we use for this type of media. There are differences in those terms, but today we'll consider them all together as a broad category and use the word comics to keep it simple. So, what are comics? Comics are a type of narrative media that use sequential images and sometimes text to tell a story. Sequential means the images are in a specific sequence or order. Because comics are narrative, like narrative writing and film, comic creators use the same storytelling tools as authors and filmmakers: conflict, setting, character, mood, and theme. But while authors use writing to tell their stories and filmmakers use cinematography, comic creators use their own unique tools. To explore those tools, grab your PDF. In your PDF, quickly draw a simple face. You probably drew something like this. Now, make the face look angry. You probably added details like this. But that's not what a real human face looks like, or an angry face. So how do we all know exactly what these drawings mean? We know because these faces are examples of iconography, which is what comics rely on to tell stories. It's the key component that allows us to read, interpret, and enjoy comics. Iconography refers to the use of images as symbols to communicate. It's like a language of images. For example, we all know a heart shape represents love. A light bulb can symbolize an idea. And a check mark shows that something is finished or correct. Whether reading instructions in a PDF or choosing emojis in a text, you use iconography every day. And comics have their own unique iconography. Comics convey entire stories, complete with sounds, sensations, and the passage of time using just images and text. The key to how they do that is iconography. Luckily for us, Mia is a bit of an icon expert. Mia, make us an image of someone running, then running faster, then falling down. Take a look at how Mia's comic uses iconography. What visual elements communicate movement, time, and sound? Pause to record your ideas in your PDF, then resume. What did you notice? As we learn more and analyze Mia's comic, keep those observations in mind. Now, let's discuss how comic creators use iconography to tell stories, starting with how they create structure. Mia used two essential tools to structure her comic: panels and gutters. Panels are the frames around individual drawings, and gutters are the spaces in between panels. How do you think we can use panels to impact the reader? Well, take a look at these examples. In which comic is the person running more quickly? Most people would say this person is faster because multiple narrower panels can create the impression of a quick pace. So in which comic is the person running for a longer time? This person seems to be running for a longer time because of the much wider panel in the middle. Panels can control the sense of pacing or time in a story. They can also be used like camera framing in cinematography, whether that's emphasizing setting, showing interactions, or focusing on small details. But just as important as what comic panels show is what they don't show. That is, the empty space called the gutter. Take a look at this sequence. What happens? The frog jumps to catch a fly. To read these two images as a scene, your mind fills in the missing action of the jump that takes place in the gutter. Now check out this sequence. What happens here? We read these images and understand that a person lights a match and burns down a house. These could be two unrelated images, but the iconography of panels and gutters shows us they're connected. Gutters indicate to readers that time is passing in the narrative. When we read comics, our minds fill in the missing action in the gutter between two panels. So comic creators carefully choose what visual information goes in each panel so their audiences can follow along. Panels and gutters provide the structure of comics. Now let's explore the tools used to create the content of comics. Motion lines, sound effects, and speech bubbles are three types of iconography that comic creators use to tell stories. Let's take a look at how those are used in Mia's comic. Motion lines are abstract lines used to show movement. In this comic, the motion lines behind the figure help show that he's running. Different styles and shapes of motion lines suggest different types of movement. Next up are sound effects, also called onomatopoeia, which use words to imitate sounds. In this comic, we have BAM and crunch as the runner hits the ground. Some sound effects are real words like snap and boom, and some are invented like thwam or kish. Last up, an iconic example of iconography. Speech bubbles, also called speech balloons and similar terms, are shapes that contain dialogue and indicate a character is talking or thinking. Those are three of the basic types of iconography used to tell stories in comics. But with careful artistic choices, tools like motion lines, sound effects, and speech bubbles can become even more effective. This speech bubble shows the reader what the man says. With some changes, it can also show how the man says it. Line quality, or the thickness, shape, and style of lines used, changes the way we interpret iconography. Jagged, thick, or dark lines might show anger, speed, or fear, while smooth, thin, or delicate lines might show tranquility or happiness. Let's try applying some of these tools to make sure we're ready to bring the mediator to life. In your PDF is a one-panel comic that's a little boring. Let's add some excitement. Use line quality, motion line, sound effects, and speech bubbles to create action and sensory details. Pause to draw and resume when you're ready. How did it turn out? Even small additions like a playful motion line, a simple sound effect, and a sweet speech bubble can create a sense of story. I bet your iconography additions gave that comic a lot more pow! Over the next few days, you'll explore how comics use iconography to create narratives. And you'll help design the launch of Media Metropolis's superhero, the Mediator. Mia will process all that data, and then our new key to the city will be complete and ready for testing. Media Metropolis is almost ready for its relaunch. Until then, remember, every story is a new horizon. See you next time!